Kirkpatrick,
Here.
Lowry, Hammer,
Here.
Norris,
Here.
Witcher, Harris, and Gauntz. All present.
Thank you. First item on the agenda, we have with us tonight Judge Michael Hale, and she wants to speak to us. I say she. He wants to speak to us, excuse me. Excuse me, got ahead of myself. First item on the agenda is the minutes from the council meeting of October the 9th, 2017. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? That being the case, I'll entertain a motion to approve. A motion. By Council Member Hammer, and second?
Second.
Council Member Kirkpatrick. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, the motion carries. Now, Judge Hale, if you would, please step to the microphone. The floor is yours, and you're going to speak about the work-ready community and the status of our community. Judge?
Well, thank you, Mayor and Council. I'm honored to be here tonight. I'm going to lay this right here, and I'll get back to it just in a second. Those of you that maybe have heard that Barron County has just recently been voted on and accepted as a work-ready county, I want to explain a little of that to you. In 2015, actually September the 24th, 2015, I was in my first year as judge executive, and I attended my first work-ready meeting. Knowing a little bit about it, I was intrigued to learn more. Then Governor Beshear appointed me to the Kentucky Workforce Innovation Board, which I learned twice as much about it. So I served on that board for up until June of this year, and while I served, I was also placed on the Work Ready Communities Committee for the state of Kentucky, and I served there with Economic Development Cabinet, the Labor Cabinet, Workforce and Education, and the Kentucky Chamber of Commerce, and Department of Education. So new governor comes in, and new administration with new expectations, and I totally understand that. The board was revamped. I was not reassigned to that board, but the committee was revamped all but myself. So I was able to move up to chair of that committee, which I'm still chair of that committee. So I had some insight on things that were happening and things that were going to happen. I first started trying to get the conversation started back with folks in the community about, number one, who started this, who all was involved, and who may have the old material on it, which is what I have right here. So I started talking about the first time in a Chamber of Commerce board meeting. I also talked about it in a economic development meeting, which was formerly known as IDEA. I received a little feedback from various folks in the community and various folks of these boards. What was going to happen was the Kentucky Workforce Innovation Board was going to make the criteria very difficult to be a work-ready county. So not knowing how Barron County would stack up with the previous or the existing criteria until we actually started running the numbers, I had no way of knowing if we could really receive that status. What I did know was there was no progress report given to Frankfurt about our work ready in progress, which is what we were. And I was told that Barron County was not going to receive an extension for work ready in progress. So I knew right then we had to get to work. So I asked to use the Chamber of Commerce Educational Committee, and because the application is 3/4 educational driven, and a lot of data comes from education side. We were lacking in criteria on the educational attainment. The percentage of working age with at least a 2-year degree. We were also lacking in the number of working age adults with a diploma or a GED. And we were also lacking in soft skills programs within our educational systems. Now, as you know, we have 2 of the top-notch school systems, state of Kentucky, in my opinion, United States. So programs such as Project Lead the Way, Boys to Men Mentoring Program, leadership classes, apprenticeship programs, the Chamber of Commerce Work Ready Skills Certificate, dual credit, soft skills training, K through 12, Leader in Me, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, resource responders. Now that's just 8 of 2 full pages that was turned in the application. I just wanted to highlight some of those, and I did that because I'm involved with a lot of those. So we started on this application end of March, 1st of April. The Education Committee had co-chairs, which was Cheyenne Fant and Amy Allen. Also, Amy Irwin was a part of the Education Committee. So once you reach your work-ready status, that has to be industry and business driven from there. So I reached out to, and I also wanted to get the young people involved in the community as well. So I reached out to Erica Spillman, who is president of the Young Professionals Association here in Barron County. And I also asked Mr. Bill Prather to be a part of this as well, he being the chamber president, because we had to have chamber involvement. We started on this, as I say, at the end of March and April, and we worked on it in our spare time when we had spare time. So we kept meeting with the committee, and the committee was coming up with new criteria. And they wanted this criteria to be implemented as quick as possible. Well, once again, I knew we had to get with it. So we started, we ended up, it got to the point where we were meeting 2 to 3 times a week. We even worked on this over fall break via text or FaceTime, and just to get this done. A lot of hours went into this. We ended up not only meeting the criteria with all these new programs, but we exceeded the criteria. So tonight, we are one of 38 counties that is work ready in the state of Kentucky, out of 120 counties. You know, what's this mean? I had a person from the Economic Development Cabinet say, now I can not only showcase Warren County first, but I can showcase Barron County right along beside it. Now, folks, if that don't make you feel good, then you're up here for the wrong reasons. I'm telling you. Because the way I understand it, when a business or industry wants to locate in Kentucky, they target the work-ready counties first and foremost. So what that says is Barron County has put skin in the game and says, we're going to make this happen. We're going to provide the workforce for you. We're going to do whatever it takes for you to bring a business here and be successful. Also, we're going to support our local industries, our existing industries, in expansions and so on and so forth. Who do you thank? Gosh, there's so many people to thank. Ever since this, we were awarded this, I've had folks to come up and say, well, you know, I was part of that group or part of this group. I hate to name names because I'm afraid I'll leave folks out. I can only speak for the folks that actually helped with this. You know, old criteria, we had a 90%, you had to reach a 90% graduation rate. We're at 95.2. Our kids going to college, you had to meet a criteria of 30% of going to college. We're at 38% for Barron County. And now with folks with 2-year degrees, we were at 20% when we didn't meet the criteria. We're now at 28.2%. So you can see what the educational system, the changes that they have made, and the mountains that they are moving. Mayor Doty, I appreciate his support in this endeavor as well. It takes a team. I hope you all can be proud of the fact that there were folks that came together to do this. When Barron County came up to present on the agenda that day, we had 14 counties. 2 of those 14 counties were awarded work ready. 4 or 5 of them were turned down. Barron County came in and gave a presentation. It was just like watching a movie. It was scripted, and they did an awesome job. Some counties didn't send anyone. Some counties sent one person. I think we had about 20-some people that drove to Frankfort that day. Pretty overwhelming. Pretty overwhelming. Like I say, this is the original application that was brought to my office. You may wonder, well, Judge, why did you want to take this project on? When I read through this application, former Judge Davy Greer's name was on this as being the responsible party. So I felt like, as Judge Executive, is my responsibility. And I'm proud of the fact that we've done this. We can check this off of our list, but that doesn't mean the work stops here. We have to continue to work hard and make our program successful. And it takes your help. It takes all of you's help. It takes everyone in this room's help to make that happen. Because we will continue to send progress reports up. We will be back up for work-ready evaluation in 3 years from now. My goal is to blow the new criteria away, and I think we'll do that, because with the educators that we have now and folks in the community that's partnering with us through co-ops, job shadowing, apprenticeships, we'll meet it and we'll exceed it. So once again, I appreciate the opportunity, and thank you for asking me to come and say a few words. I know I probably said more than just a few, but once again, if you have any questions for me, I'd be more than happy to talk to you. You can come by my office, call me, or do whatever you'd like to do. All right? Thank you all.
Thank you, Judge. There are no questions for the judge. Next item on the agenda is Mr. Kevin Mott, the Planning Director. He is here tonight to present his Joint City-County Planning Commission's annual report. Mr. Mott.
Council members, Mayor, thank you for letting me be